Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. Right, to the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And here's why, CNN, Slovakia, CNN, here's why millions of Americans will lose $3 billion in monthly food stamp benefits starting March. This is CNN. Putting food on the table will be a lot harder for millions of Americans starting March. Food stamps recipients will each receive about $90 a month less in benefits on advantage age average as a pandemic hunger relief plan comes to an end nationwide 3 years after Congress approved it. Says 16 million households lose the COVID will do boost to food aid. 3 charts show who will hurt the most. What's the chart? This is 16 million households will lose these benefits. 3 charts. Most CNN this month and estimated 16 million household receiving SNAP benefits in 32 states and Washington D.C. because Washington D.C. is not a state, right? I believe will see their benefits decreased by at least $95 a month, according to the estimates from the Center of Budget and Policy. And learning research of policy industry. Hey, how do you freaking? Okay. says every household in the supplemental nutrients assistance programs, or SNAP, as food stamps are formerly known, will see their monthly benefits shrink by at least $95. Some large families could experience monthly reductions of $250 or more, according to the Left Learning Center of Budget and Policy. Maybe I can hit it on that one. There we go. Oh, I had it. It's lucky. I'm just trying to hit that one word so I can get it to. Okay, there we go. I don't know why you couldn't. There we go. That's what
Priority.
Priority. Policy priorities. Okay. Policy priorities. Okay, that's what I was trying to get to. This is the fact or condition of being regarded or treated as more important, right? So I'm saying you're not going to be important enough anymore to receive your SNAP benefits.
Article, but basically what's happening. So a number of years ago, I'm going to be fair with you, I don't remember exactly which year it was. It could have been 2021, maybe 2022. I think it was 2021. They implemented a 30% raise to SNAP benefits. Do you remember this? At the time I was talking about it, it was a historic raise. In fact, I think it was 30.1% is what it turned out to be, or right around that anyway. Anyway, let's just call it 30% because that's just easier to say. But that's what it was, okay? A 30% one-time raise to benefits because of what was going on during that time. Well, they turned that into a permanent raise to benefits. Now, this is kind of the questionable thing because they said, well, technically it wasn't really supposed to be a permanent raise to benefits, but that's what it turned out to be. That was a pretty cool thing for a lot of beneficiaries, right? So that's what they did. That was implemented in October of that year, by the way, which was the beginning of the new fiscal year for that time frame. And again, I think that was in October of 2021. I could be off a little bit there, but I think it was the year. But anyway, so here's what they want to do, and here's what they're talking about. This is not a guaranteed thing. This is not written in stone. This is not like something that they're for sure going to do, but is something that's being discussed, which is rolling back that 30% permanent raise. Now, this would actually be a reduction overall of about a 20% reduction. So it's, technically not a dollar for dollar decrease, but it's about a 20% reduction what they want to do. Now remember, you've probably heard me talk about this for other videos as well, but they have this new commission, I'm going to call it, which is Doge, right? What does that stand for? Dogecoin? No, it's not Dogecoin. It's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. This is the new, commission, department, whatever. And basically, they're just advising the new administration on what they should be doing going forward to cost cut. In other words, stop blowing so much taxpayer dollars on the federal level. That's literally what they're trying to do here, okay? So they're trying to save about $1 trillion to $2 trillion. And what are they going to do? They're trying to cut different things, right? Well, here's the thing. One aspect, one program that is on potentially the chopping block is SNAP benefits, right? So here's the situation, and again, I just want to make this very clear. This is not happening yet, but as you can see here from this article, this is something that is being potentially discussed and or the ideas are being mulled around. So you just want to throw that out there. But anyway, if they were to do this, roll this back, this 30% raise, or basically implementing a 20% reduction, what they're looking at is this would save $247 billion over a 10-year period of time. That's $24.7 billion a year on average is what that'd come out to be, right? I mean, we're talking a lot of money here. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying it is, okay? This is just the numbers and the fact behind it, okay? So anyway, what we need to watch for is that this potentially could happen. Now, one other aspect that they could do, and again, they did this, 2 years ago. It actually wasn't 2 years ago. It was about a year and a half ago, to be 100% fair. It was in like May-ish of 2023. Yeah, 2023 is when they did this. So it was like, okay, like a year and a half, rolling up on 2 years here ago is when they did this. But we were in the same exact situation. We were in this debt ceiling negotiation where they said, we got to raise the debt ceiling. We're going to default in this country. Janet Yellen was out pounding the table and all these things, just like she is now, doing the same old thing and saying, we're going to default. We got to raise the debt ceiling, raise the debt limit. And they said, okay, we have to negotiate. We have to negotiate the details. Anyway, long story short, what they did is they raised the age for the work requirements for those people receiving SNAP benefits. Now, I've had videos about this over the last couple of years talking about this. It's been a very confusing topic. Don't get me wrong. I can certainly talk about it again. But basically what they did is they raised the age range from 49 to 54 for the ABAWD people, able-bodied adults without dependents, who need to fulfill the work requirements, okay? So, again, I can certainly make a dedicated video about that, an updated one. It's a very confusing topic, but there's a lot of exemptions to the rule and a lot of people that are exempt from that. But anyway, back in September of last year, 2020, let me say that again. September of 2023, they raised it. October of 2023, they raised it. And October 2024, they raised it. Okay, so obviously here we are still early on in 2025, but they raised the age then, right? So what they're talking about here is they could potentially come in yet again, not only chop out $247 billion over the next 10 years for the SNAP benefit program, but they could also potentially raise the age in which people need to fulfill the work requirement in order to be eligible for SNAP benefits. Right now, it's still sitting at 54. It went up from 52 to 54 as of October 1st of last year, 2024, and they're talking about maybe raising that yet again. How much? That's the big question. Not really sure. Maybe they raise it by 1 year to 55. Maybe they raise it by a couple years to 56. Maybe they raise it by another 5 years out until the age of 59. I'm honestly not really sure what the plan is. I've seen a couple different sketches out there, but nothing really solid. I've seen a couple different age ranges that it could potentially be lifted up to, but nothing that is solidified or nothing that is even confirmed as of yet. So it's just speculation still at this point, okay? Either way, these are the things that they're potentially talking about doing.
Yeah. So, they're talking about reducing the, the SNAP benefits. They're saying reducing, but eventually they're gonna have to get rid of it because they need that money to build military weapons.
Tap the chest, see
Right.
what you get.
They need that money to rebuild their more military weapons. So they're gonna have to cut it all. Pretty much all these benefits is gonna go out the window because World War III, right? Because it's Leviticus chapter 23 and 22, right? When ye reap the harvest of your land, thus shall not make a clean riddance of the corners of thy field when thus reapest, neither shall thus gather any gleanings of the harvest, thus shall leave them unto the poor, right? Because this was like the the Most High SNAP system, right? Right. And to the stranger, I am Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, your power, right? And this was like a law. This is the law, right? Because it's Leviticus. This is the law of the Most High, right? To to the Israelites, but this was basically the way the Most High said to take care of your poor. So always leave them something to eat. But since they took away all those things, they need to give some type of money, some type of thing to be able to buy these things. But we also going into the fourth industrial revolution, so to speak, where they about to make everything digital, right? And the charagma and the micro C hip is all attached to this. So I mean, they may not do away with it completely right at first, or or they may do away with it altogether and just do a clean slate of the universal basic income or the global income, whichever name that they give it, right? Or they might just call it a geo income, right? Which basically means global, right? Or something like that, because they're gonna need it for the military. Yeah. So this is Luke chapter 16 verse 1, and he said, when he is Yahushai, said unto his disciples, there was a certain rich man, right? These so-called multi-billionaires, the one that's about to shape the economy, as Biden had said, which had a steward, right? And the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods, right? And that's what this devil is doing all day, man. Polluting the air, doing all sorts of things, man. He's wasting the world away, man. He about to go into World War III, man. It's just a big waste that this guy even ruled the world, right? Right. You got all sorts of diseases and all sorts of things, man. Cancers, and now they're scaring you with a global scaredemic, right? Of all these different so-called sicknesses and whatever. I mean, you're not doing. You're a waste. You're wasting the goods, man. That doesn't make sense. So much what you call natural medicinal um you know earthly natural health benefits that's in the world. Different waters and things, and springs that it used to exist, that brought people health, and they basically destroyed them, so people couldn't drink these natural waters or things and get healthy, right? And it says, and he called him and said, right, which be like the Most High Yahweh, right? And he called him and said unto him, how is it that I hear this of thee? Give an account, right? So say, give a report, give an account, right, of thy stewardship. You're hey, I left you in a place of ruling the world. Now you're gonna have to have an account of this, and that's what these elites ain't taking into consideration. That the Most High is gonna have them have an account of their stewardship, man. Right? For thus may it be no longer steward, right? So hey, the Lord, it tells you in Daniel's, the Lord setteth over whom he will, uh and could take whatever kingdom and take them out of power, and set the basis of men over, which this is where we're at. We're at the very base of all societies, man. Right? And take you out of stewardship. The Most High can take you out of stewardship whenever he feels, But they're not taking it their ladder into heart, or to la'ab mind, la'ab taken into mind. Right? It says then the steward said unto himself, what shall I do? For my Lord taketh away my stewardship, and I cannot dig to beg. I am ashamed. Right? That's Esau ain't got no. He don't got the skills that Jake do. He don't. You know. I mean, being at the bottom is no new condition to us. But not to mention, we've always had that swag to be able to go out there and work hard, dig ditches, or you hustle. You know what I'm saying? Even if your hustling is panhandling, man, you just seen them jakes that they finally catch up with them from panhandling, and this motherfucker got thousands and thousands of dollars on them from begging, man, from just panhandling, right? But this dude Esau, he don't got the swag, he don't got the, he can't do that, right? Yeah, so this is Luke 16:5. So so he called everyone his Lord's debtors, right? And then this is 5, and this is the LSB, and he summons everyone his master's debtors. He begun saying to the first, how much do you owe my master? Right? And then when you come down to it, when you think about it, man, all these so-called presidents and these so-called senators, they really, all these countries really behind the scenes, for lack of better word, you have the shadow government who actually runs everything. You know what I mean? And um, so they have their master that's behind them, which ultimately has a master, which is the Most High, Yahweh, right? And the Lord, the Lord raiseth up kings whomever He will, whoever He want, right? That's what it tells you in Daniel's. The Lord taketh down one kingdom and set up another, and even the basis of men, and that's where you're at, man. You have the basis of men ruling over, right? In which all those rulerships, from the Babylonian until now, were base men. But this is the basis of all those men. Even when you think about it, even when Israel was ruling, when you're not really fully operating with the Most High in the way that it's meant to be, you're just a base man, right? That's the only time we're really gonna truly not be in a base situation is when Yahweh gets here and rule with us, with King David, with us, with the law, statutes, commandments, and our inward parts, and that's the only time we're gonna not actually be base people, man, right? Because you got to think, even the time Solomon, he went all those years until the end, pretty much of the end of his life. Towards the end, he basically started doing some base ass shit, following the gods of the women that he was with, right? Which is crazy, but we this is the Lord. This is like the Lord just showing you. Man, the Most High has this, man. He got this thing down packed, man. He's finna show you something, man. Something greater than you can ever imagine, right? And they basically begun to say how much you owe, and he said 100 baths of oil And he said to him, take the bill and sit down quickly and write 50, right? And this one says a measure, 100 measures of oil. And he said, take the bill and sit down quickly and write 50, right? So half of the 100, right? And then this one, it says, then said he to another, how much owest thus? And he said, 100 measures of wheat. And he said unto him, take thy bill and write 4 scores. And then if you look on this other side, it says, he said 100 cores of wheat. And he said, take the bill and write 80, right? Which makes sense, right? Yeah, 4 scores would be 80, right? I wasn't even thinking of it like that. Yeah, but yeah, it'd be 80. So basically, kind of like a way of having a welfare system, and this is some of the things that Esau know to do. That's why he'll do these debt things, but then he don't do the whole thing, right? Because you're supposed to have a you're supposed to be part after every 7 years, which that's what they have. They used to have that with the you could file bankruptcy or something like that every 7 years, which you get that from the scriptures, man, right? But he's starting to depart from all those type of things. Because he gonna say, F it. You know what I'm saying? Right? Showing you who he truly is. And it says, and the Lord commended him the unjust steward. And his master praised the unjust steward because he had acted shrewdly. Oh yeah, shrewdly, right? For the sons of this age, right, this age, right, this ruling age, Esau's age, the sons of this age are more shrewd in relations to their own kind, right? Right, to their own kind, right? Than the sons of light, right? And you see that pretty much every other nation take care of each other, but you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, man, you the ones who will persecute your own people, man, right? But they about to do the same thing too, right? So you're gonna see that he's the unjust steward, right? Going into that them being the wicked, right? Because if you go into that word wicked, it means criminal, right? Guilty, right? This is in injustice of judgment, unrighteousness of heart and life, right? Right. Right. The opposite, your mind, your heart, and then just life, just the way he lives. It's unjust. A deed violating a deed violating law, right? Which means criminal, right? So when you go into that word, he's a criminal, right? So the unjust steward is a criminal. Yeah. A deed violating law and justice, act of unrighteousness, right? So he's a criminal, right? He's the wicked, right? Yeah, so this is Joel chapter 3 verse 9. I'm gonna read the King James first, and then I'm gonna read the NLT afterwards. It says Joel 3 and 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw nigh, let them come up. This is NLT. Say to the nations far and wide, get ready for war. Call out your best warriors. Let all your fighting men advance for the attack. Right? Hey, and then that's the time that we're fastly approaching. We're pretty much in, but I mean it's not full. It's not to that level all the way yet, because they plan on stripping that money and using that money to build more weapons, because they're seriously lacking, because all these years they just thought, oh yeah, we're big bad America, and we put all the fear in everybody in the 50s, and they never updated any of their systems. They never updated their, all their war thing. They just felt like, since everybody was afraid, no one was advancing and ever thinking about ever coming up against them. I guess they figured no one will ever want to try to come against them. And it says, go King the King James version first, and then I'm gonna read the NLT. It says, beat your plowshares into swords, right? And your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. And that goes into what I was saying. All these other nations, like especially Russia, they was continually building, right? Because of the Cold War, which is the 80s. It was only 40 years ago. So, I mean, I don't know what they were thinking, right? The Cold War was only 40 years ago or so. But from that time to now, Russia has way more nuclear missiles than anybody on the planet. And they got advanced ones too, because America do not have a hypersonic missile, right? Which Russia, I guess they must have imparted that science with China, or vice versa, China with them. But now also North Korea has a hypersonic ICBM missile. So this is that weak saying they're strong. Hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, right? In the modern day, sword is the gun. The modern day spear would be these, these jets that have these, missiles on them. And then, of course, you have the actual missile silos of the ICBM missiles, man. Those will be spears, man, right? Or arrows, right? Train everyone weaklings to be warriors. Man, hey, and America has not put that into into their thought process, that the end would be here, right? They're putting people into military who's been just sitting around playing video games, right? Who their idea of great music is Ice Spice, right? Or what's her name? Sexy Red. That's their idea of good music, right? So this is crazy, man, right? So that's ultimately, I don't know if they're just shortening it or going to cut it off, but they might end up just cutting it off eventually because they need to build up for this war. Yes. So with all that, I want to give all praises and honor and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Baba Ball, Kwam Yasharallah.